Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Arsenal and their season so far since the last international break. Obviously, it's the international break at the moment; it's just begun. It's 2 weeks of total boredom and just crap football, really. In my opinion, I'm not a great fan of the international football stage. Never really have been. Obviously, at the World Cup, that's a little bit different, but. I want to talk about Arsenal so far, the last few games against Leicester, Liverpool, Palace, Sporting CP in the Europa League, and Blackpool in the Carabao Cup. I just want to see how the team are doing at the moment. Let me know down below what you think about the team. Drop a comment down below, and also drop a sub as well, guys, because I'm bringing out videos daily pretty much now. So just to keep the channel fresh and alive. Obviously, at the moment, international break is on, so got to keep the channel fresh and active at the moment. So yeah, drop a sub and let me know down below what you think. And we're going to get into it. So obviously we've got 5 games coming up shortly after the international break. We've got the likes of Manchester United away at Old Trafford, Tottenham at home. We've got Bournemouth away. We've got Vorskla away in the Europa League, and I think that is it for the next 5 games. But they're the games coming up, so we need to obviously strengthen the team a lot more, especially after that draw against Wolverhampton. There is a link in the description of that game. But yeah, at the moment, the lineups are looking very strong at the moment. He's not too sure, Emery, when it comes to the back line. We have been mixing up a fair bit, obviously, because of injuries, players out as well. We've obviously had the likes of Klasnak in there and left back, Xhaka in left back a few games as well. Mustafi's come back in a few times. Socrates has been out, so we have had a little bit of a mix-up. But the likes of Holding's been brilliant in there. I feel like he's been a major impact towards the team in the last few games. So composed, so calm on the ball, and really shown a lot of passion and a desire to stay in the team and really strengthen this back line. I feel like Bellerin's been really good in that right back position the last few games. It's just his strength running up and down that touchline with his speed and crossing it in. We need another left back who's going to be like that. Monreal is still out injured. Kolasinac was terrible against Wolverhampton. Was really good against Liverpool, but he's just not consistent enough on a regular day basis, and he's not quality, if you know what I mean. He hasn't got that speed like Bellerin does, and he doesn't seem to push forward enough, to be honest. So overall, I feel like we need to improve in that left back position when it comes to defending. Socrates should be back next game. I really do like him. I think he's been absolutely brilliant for the team. The likes of Leno's been really, really good as well. He's been improving a lot. Brilliant against Wolverhampton, and he's really stepping it up against these bigger teams, especially against Liverpool as well. So he's been brilliant. He's been a major asset to us. Torreira, once again, just doing the business in that midfield, being that huge shield for the back four, and he's just been brilliant, man. His distribution with the ball is nice and quick. He's on his feet, always pushing forward. He's always got that physical presence, and he's been another major impact towards the team. Likes of Lacazette and Aubameyang, I feel like they need to be a lot closer to each other. They haven't been much of a threat the last few games. They are poor against Wolverhampton, and they weren't great against Liverpool, in my opinion. Their cutting edge just didn't have it. But I feel like they need to be a lot closer when they're being played out. Likes of Iwobi, he needs to keep faith in Iwobi, Emery. I feel like Iwobi, he's been subbed off a few times, and I feel like he's another impact player, and a player that's really grown since Emery's come to the club, really. So it's going to be interesting to see how Iwobi goes in the next few games. Hopefully he doesn't sub him off, because I feel like he's at cutting edge when it goes forward. He's really got this drive about him when he goes forward as well, and Lacazette and Aubameyang don't have much of that. They seem to wait for the ball and just wait until they get the ball. The likes of Ozil's been really good as well last few games. He needs to be consistent and more, though, in my opinion. He was brilliant against Fulham. No, not Fulham. Who was it? Leicester City. But then he's poor against Crystal Palace, and that's the problem with him. He needs to be consistent, because all of a sudden he'd be brilliant against Liverpool, So he needs to be consistent, and hopefully he can kick up the backside against Bournemouth, because Bournemouth they're going to be very strong away from home in the next few weeks, and especially the likes of Old Trafford. We're going off to Old Trafford, shortly, and we've got Tottenham coming out to Emirates as well. So he needs to step it up. The players that I feel that have haven't been great in the last month or so, and that's Mkhitaryan and Ramsey. Obviously, Ramsey's running down to his contract. So there's not much of a fuss if he does leave, he does go. But I feel like he has been really poor, especially with the ball. Mkhitaryan has been poor with the ball as well. Both of them, they're cutting edge on the outside of the box. Just don't have it, man. Honestly, they get the ball and they're right with the ball. They're pretty good, but they just can't seem to finish it, and they just don't have that finishing touch about them. And they are very sloppy in position every now and then, and they don't seem to defend enough, in my opinion. Mkhitaryan he doesn't help out the defence enough. He doesn't help out Bellerin enough, and I feel like he's been really poor. It was great against Wolverhampton. He did step it up, but he's been one of the poor players, if I'm honest, when it comes to impacting games the last month or so. Substitution wise, I feel like Welbeck's been brilliant, obviously since his horror injury. I feel like he's been a brilliant sub the last few games. And overall, the team is looking good. There is a few little there's a few little positions that need to be adjusted. Xhaka can't go in that left back position anymore because he got hammered against Crystal Palace when we drew against them 2-2. Yeah, that's what I've got to say about the team really. But yeah, I feel like Emery needs to he really needs to bring on a lot more of the youth players. I feel like Nketiah should get a chance. Obviously, Welbeck is out now, so I want to see more of Nketiah the next few games. And I feel like Emil Smith-Rowe should get a chance in that attacking midfield, attacking role. In my opinion, especially with a few players out as well. So I expect to see him more often, and I want to see a lot more of him. Even the likes of Willock in there, Mavropanos will be back shortly. So that's something I want to see from Emery. And I want to see a lot more, what is it? The first halves, that's right. The first halves haven't been great. And I want to see more of an energy and more of a less lacklustre performance in the first half. And I know we're getting the draws, but it's always in the second half. And I want to see more of that in the next coming game, especially the likes of Old Trafford. At Old Trafford, Manchester United are really going to put it on against us, and we can't start off slow. Even against Tottenham and Bournemouth away, they're getting huge games, so we can't be starting slow because we obviously got punished against Wolverhampton when we were starting really slow and we were so lacklustre, and all of a sudden we're 1-0 down. So I want to see more of that, and that's something I want to see from Emery, because I know he's really pushing on the sidelines and it's all about the players, but sometimes I feel like he needs to really get it across to them. If you're not going to do it, then you're going to come off the first half. And the second half, sorry. And I think that's something that's really been brilliant for Emery the last month. He's really been taking off a lot of the major players. Likes of Ozil came off. You saw that against Crystal Palace. Wasn't happy about that. Aubameyang came off as well in that game. Wasn't happy about that. Came off against Liverpool. Wasn't happy about that either, Aubameyang. So it's good to see that he's taken off a lot of the bigger players, and it's showing that if you're not going to perform, then you're going to get taken off. Simple as that. And I feel like the likes of Iwobi shouldn't have been taken off against Wolverhampton. And there's a few other players I feel like need to come off a little bit more often. The likes of, who is it? I feel like Guendouzi sometimes should come off. Ozil needs to come off a lot more often. And even the likes of Lacazette sometimes, I feel like, even though he's leading the line, and although he's been pretty good, I need to see more of him. And sometimes take him off, I feel like that's the best option to make him, to improve his game. But overall, I think that's something that's been really good for Emery the last month or so. Really taking off a lot of the really good players and giving them a kick up the backside, and showing that although you're earning so much money, although you've got the big price tag on you, doesn't mean you're going to be starting every single game. And I think that's been key for him. But the formations he's playing a 4-2-3-1 in the Premier League, and he's playing a 4-3-3 in the cup games. And I feel like the 4-2-3-1 has been a success. I feel like we need to probably change it up a little bit at the moment, especially going forward. I feel like there's a lot more sideways football at the moment turning up, and the team a lot more backwards play. I feel like we need someone in there who's going to really push and go forward. I feel like Aubameyang needs to come a lot closer, take out that left mid position of him and bring him closer. Maybe go 2 strikers instead, and maybe have Iwobi playing in behind or something a little bit different instead of having this really wide attacking formation at the moment. Ozil, I feel like he needs to get further upfield. Sometimes he's picking up the ball in the halfway mark, and he can't be doing that. He needs to be further upfield. So overall, I think the formations are doing alright. It's just a few little key slight adjustments to the team going forward. Defensively, Socrates has to start, in my opinion. Mustafi has to come off. and obviously you've got that left back issue that needs to be taken out. But we're sitting fifth on the ladder at the moment, so doing all right. Just a few points out from Tottenham and Liverpool, and hopefully we can get a few wins under our belt, especially against Manchester United at Old Trafford and Tottenham coming home. A lot of these minor games like Bournemouth, we need to be winning these sort of games. Obviously we've got Southampton coming up as well away from home, so we need to be winning these sort of games. They're the games that we have to be winning, and they're the ones that get you the points. But overall, if I was to score it the last month, I'd probably say a 7 out of 10. A few of the draws did let us down. A few lacklustre performances, especially against Wolverhampton. I feel like that was a game we should have won there if we really did turn up. Crystal Palace, we should have won that game in my opinion. Obviously not by performance, but if we did turn up, we need to be winning those sort of games, do you know what I mean? Liverpool, that was a major draw. I thought that was one of the best performances of the month. Sporting CP, we had a great win away from home against them, but at home we were poor, we were sloppy, and a few times we haven't had that threat going forward in my opinion, and defensively we have been pretty poor. A few little lazy attempts, and obviously they're through on goals. So overall, 7 out of 10. Let me know down below, guys, of your rating for the team. It's a nice little video, this one. It's something a little bit different. Let me know, guys, down below what you think of that. And also drop a sub, because I'm going to bring in out a few more videos throughout the international break, maybe talking about myself, just so you know a little bit about me, where I come from, my background, and probably a little bit more about the team as well next week. So maybe talking about, I don't know, really, we'll think of something. But yeah, let me know, guys, down below what you think of this this little video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. It should be a few days. Speak soon, guys. Cheers.